this is Kavyal Sedani, a counselor and a psychotherapist. And here's a little more information about ADHD, which we know as Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Now, there are two siblings. There is ADHD and there is ADD, that is Attention Deficit Disorder. In Attention Deficit Disorder, you do not see the child extremely hyper, you do not see them jumping around. They may be quieter, but their mind may be distracted a lot. They may be forgetful a lot. They may be jumping from one idea to the other a lot. Whereas ADHD, which is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, you would typically see children as if they are, driven by a motor, as if they just can't stop. They constantly need activity, they need to get up, either they will talk a lot, or they will jump around the room, or they will fidget constantly. But getting them to sit and do anything for a long period of time could definitely become a challenge. ADHD and ADD is a lot more common in Australia and America. However, it is slowly percolating into every continent in the world. And sometimes when a child does have a remarked level of ADHD, that could be the birthplace of certain learning disabilities like dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, or where the child may feel like I can't concentrate or I can't focus. Typically, as parents, this would worry us. We would think like there is something wrong. I need you to know that ADHD and ADD is like a gift. When your child has ADHD, the child has so much energy that it's not like they're not focusing, but they are focusing on many things at the same time. Same way when they have ADD, that's Attention Deficit Disorder, again, it's like a gift. The brain of a child who has Attention Deficit Disorder can be beautifully creative. It could be brilliant with storytelling, it could be brilliant with artistry, it could be brilliant with creativity. It's just that as parents, we don't value those qualities as much, and we look for the academic push and the academic force. The world is changing, and the academic structure is changing also. And we need to change as parents and as people to see our children differently. Because these gifts that your children have are really going to be appreciated world over as the time changes. So stop really taking it as a label or as if something is wrong, and start treating it like a gift. What can we do about ADD and ADHD? You're definitely going to need some help where a professional can tell you how do you go about these children. Because if children with ADD or ADHD are not well managed, they could grow up with a lot of anxiety. They could grow up with a lot of depression because they feel misunderstood. They feel like people just don't get them right, and they're always labeled and they're always sidelined, and children don't want to play with them. So they could have emotional troubles of their own. So as a parent, first you need to educate yourself with a counselor and understand what would be the right thing for you to do about this, and get your child also to a counselor. Up to the age of 9, a lot of children could show all of these symptoms of ADD and ADHD. That is impulsivity, hyperactivity, distractibility, not focusing on any one thing, getting bored very quickly, not able to sit in one place at all, throwing tantrums and anger bursts or forgetfulness or daydreaming. All of these symptoms which are there for ADD and ADHD could be very common in a lot of kids below the age of 9. So we do not formally diagnose any child below the age of 9 with ADD or ADHD because they may outgrow these symptoms. So clinical testing is very important for you to really determine whether your child does have ADD or ADHD. And if they do, then we can correct it. We can help it. There are medicines that could help it also. But taking care of their food, making sure that they're very well nourished and they're not junking and they're not on a high diet of sugar and salts, which is keeping their energy levels even higher, is very important. Patience and the tone of voice of parents is very important because these children could be triggered very easily. So we have to make sure that we are dealing with them in the right manner. Also making sure that these kids do not feel left out is extremely important also. And sensitivity, understanding and co-working with the parent, with the teacher, with the school, the authorities, the principal is also extremely important. If the child is diagnosed with a high level of ADD or ADHD, then there are procedures by which you could get certificates in a way that it shows that your child does have a little bit of a learning disability, and they could get exemptions from the boards when it comes to their exams, like a little extra time, or a writer or a reader or a helper, depending on what the issue is. But please stop treating this like it is a sort of a bimari or it is a disease. It's not. Your children are just wired slightly differently, but they will need slightly gentle but a strict discipline environment. Because if these children are given an absolutely free hand and if they are not taught how to behave, they could become a challenge for people around them. And then they could develop something called ODD, oppositional defiance disorder, where they refuse to listen to anybody of authority, they refuse to listen to their parents, and they're literally acting out. But all of this can be helped. And no matter what your child has, your child is extremely, completely, and totally special. So don't shy away or don't fear the label, but look for the gift.